Hey guys, Pam here for ShoeMoney.com with your weekly SEM wrap-up. The biggest news for me this week was YouTube announcing that they now have a desktop PC client for multi-video uploading, and that you can also now upload videos up to 1 gig file size. There's been a lot of limitations previously with only having the 100 megs, and the video quality was pretty crappy on most videos. So this really opens up the opportunity to have much higher quality, longer, better videos on YouTube. And if you have a longer video, you don't have to break it into a bunch of segments and hope that people will watch or find it. So that's the big news. Hopefully they'll be coming out with it for Mac soon, which they say they will. You can also use the online interface still to upload the larger file size. But if you're not already using video in your marketing somehow, some way, you should figure out how. Whether it be viral or informative or a commercial, anything, just get in the game now. Tamar did a nice post over on Techipedia this week going along with what I mentioned last week about social media becoming more mature. She talks about how you really have to be active in the communities. You can't just expect that any article that you submit is going to be voted 50 times in 2 hours. And even if you have all of your friends vote on it, that's not natural, and it's really not going to get you anywhere unless you actually do have quality content. Unless you're one of those few people that happens to know all of the top stumblers or diggers or whoever, and you can get everybody to vote on it, but there's not very many of you out there. So you actually have to be active in the communities. It's actually work. Social media isn't the quick fix that everybody thinks it is. You have to, understand the users, understand what articles do well. You really have to comment and vote yourself, and you can't just hop in there and expect that everything you submit is going to do well. One of the things that you can do with social media when you are active in the communities is find new ways to market your own product. Chances are you're doing something that someone else is already doing, so you can find things that people are talking about that brand or that product, and that may inspire you to brand yourself in another way or promote your product in another way, or maybe something that's not even similar to you, but you find a unique idea that you can morph into working for your product. You can also, if you have a popular product or a popular brand, you can see the good things about your brand that you may not hear otherwise, and you can hear the bad things. And you really need to embrace those bad things and use that feedback to either improve your product or your brand, or embrace those and turn them into a positive. A really great example of that is that Scion car thing, that square, ugly SUV. About 6 months ago, I think we saw billboards come out that said pro ugly, con ugly. So they were embracing the fact that people thought it was ugly and turning that into a positive, making it a topic of discussion. And you can do that with your brand or your product as well. Just, listen to what people are saying and embrace that. Okay, so let's say you've done your optimization, you're buying advertising, you're doing video, you're doing social media, you're getting traffic into your site. Now don't blow it. One of the big things you really need to look at is site usability. This is something that I deal with on a regular basis, and it's definitely very hard to do. You're in your site all the time, you think you know what your users want, but you're really tainting it with what you want. So you need to look at what your target demographic is and get usability testing for that demographic. Now, maybe you don't have a budget for it, or maybe if you do, you have a budget that's too small, but there's always ways to do it. If your demographic is maybe a little bit of an older audience, have your parents or some older friends that you have test your site. Just throw them on there and watch them. Don't tell them how to use it, just stick them on there. If your demographic is more in the college student range, you could just put an ad in your local college newspaper and tell them that you'll do a drawing and give the winner an iPhone or something cheaper, an iPod or something. These kids like doing that stuff, they'll use it for papers or assignments, or if your site happens to be something really cool, maybe they'll brag about testing the next big thing. Or you could sit down at a Starbucks even and give out gift certificates for free lattes for people who will use your site. Break them into different groups, give some of them an assignment for what you want them to accomplish on the site. Don't tell the other ones anything, and just see what people do. See where they get stuck, see how they react, ask them afterwards what they liked and hated, and take that and go back and do some A/B testing and improve your conversion. Don't blow the traffic that you spent all that money and all that time getting. That's it for me this week. Have a great weekend. I know I will.